Hey guys, welcome to Under Construction with Jerry Keenan, the Alliance for Actions podcast. This is where you can hear directly from the decision makers building a better future in New Jersey. Be sure to subscribe on your preferred platform so you never miss an episode. Now, here's Under Construction with Jerry Keenan.
And hello, I'm Jerry Keenan, and welcome to Under Construction, the Alliance for Action's new podcast. Under Construction is really a perfect name because it's what the Alliance for Action and our members are all about. Wondering how we're going to begin the process or continue the process of building a better future in New Jersey, and also learning where the new opportunities are and how we can best take advantage of them. So we're really happy here today. I want to introduce everyone to Liza Pope. Liza is the Executive Vice President of Preconstruction at HC Constructors and also President of the Professional Women in Construction. So welcome here.
Hi, everybody.
It's really nice to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you, Liza Pope, or tell us not only a little bit about what you do in construction, but about you as a person.
So I'm originally from Hawaii, and I got my civil engineering degree from the University of Hawaii, and then met my husband on the job site in Pearl Harbor, and he's originally from New Jersey. So that is how I came to New Jersey. Yeah.
That is a real culture shock, going from Hawaii to New Jersey. It's got to be. How is that adapting to coming out here?
Well, you know what? I lived in Honolulu for many years. That's where I went to school, and it is like a metropolitan city. So that transition from there to here wasn't as great as from when I went from my small island to school to the metropolitan city. So I kind of feel like Hunterdon County was the right spot for me. You know what I mean? It kind of eased me in instead of something like Essex or Hudson or something.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, when we think of Hawaii, we just think of palm trees and nice weather, beautiful weather, never raining. I don't know what it's like out there, but it's really the oasis that people want to go to a lot of times. And you live there, and now you were telling me about your daughter. She's going back there, is that right?
Yeah, so she graduated from Stevens, and she is in pre-med, and she is interning with the local pediatrics office there. So she's there now living. She just got her Hawaii driver's license, because in Hawaii we have this thing called kama'aina rates, which is like the local rate. So, but you have to have a Hawaii ID. Yeah, and when she got it, it kind of looks fake. I don't know if you have seen it. It's just like a rainbow with your face on it, and it looks like somebody drew it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But she loves it there.
I want to go back and talk about Hawaii in a little while, but I'm looking at your notes here, and you're involved in several industry organizations besides your job with HC Constructors, but President of Professional Women in Construction. You're involved with UTCA, the ACCNJ. You participate on the scholarship committee for the professional women and also the mentor program. You're co-chairperson of the UTCA scholarship committee, the ACC internship committee.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're doing all of your work stuff, and you just finished raising, or now you're empty nesters. You're telling me your two daughters, but you raised all your two daughters throughout this whole process. When did you sleep?
No, I know, right? But I think it's important to give back, Jerry. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I got here where I am because people invested time and effort in me, and I want to just do the same. So, like, I know that it seems like a lot, but I think all women are mothers. They have full-time jobs, and they do, like, church activities or, like, activities in their industry. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. Obviously, being the Professional Women in Construction Association is very important to you, and there are certain challenges that women face that guys don't. The one time I always remember Katie Gibbs, who was with the operating engineers, she had told me once, and I never thought about this, but she said, think about it, when we go onto these job sites, there's never any porta-johns for the women. And I never even thought of that. But, tell us some of the other challenges that women might face not only on a job site but in your profession?
I think construction is unique for women. Like, they don't have the right porta-johns. And also, I remember when I was like 8 months pregnant and I had a job in downtown Honolulu, and we were putting a manhole in a bus stop area. So, like, it was very critical. We had like traffic cops and whatever, and like we came across existing conduits that needed to, be addressed. And so I go there I literally had a safety vest, hard hat. But of course, I was 8 months pregnant. And the police officer came up to me and said, ma'am, you can't go there. It's a job site. I'm in a vest and a hard hat. And I'm like, dude, this is my job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't think that they think that like women who are pregnant should be on job sites, or you know what I mean? Like, that is the kind of stuff that back then I faced, like, and I, even to this day, I think the older generation likes to call, not now, but like in the past, they used to call you like, oh, sweetie or honey. And that never offended me, as long as like you turned in your quotes on time, you know what I mean? Or if like we could help each other out. So those are just few things.
So what do you tell women coming up in the business? You've seen a lot of changes for the good, but there's still more space for more good. What do you tell women today?
Like for the youth that I'm involved with, I always say that women in construction is like the best thing for our industry, because like we're natural mothers, or like we're very detail oriented. We can multitask. At this, like, if you're changing a diaper, you could still be thinking about how you're gonna word that change order to get it approved, stuff like that. I think that women need to know, even the younger people, that women can do this job. Yeah.
Now you take being a mentor it's very important to you. But tell me about some of your mentors and the people that you've looked up to throughout the years.
So I was fortunate enough to have like strong women in my family, and like my mom, she came from the Philippines. She was an immigrant, and she started to work in the pineapple fields. And then, I feel like were resourceful at the time. So if pineapple fields weren't enough, then like she would clean houses. I would go with my mom to clean houses. Very resourceful. If you can't do it this way, is there another way? So that's what I learned from her. And I was fortunate enough, one of my first jobs was with a woman-owned company in Hawaii. And she started out as a drywall contractor, but that didn't work out for her. So she tried civil, and that was successful for her. And it was uncanny that when I came to New Jersey, I interviewed with Harry and Lisa, and it was woman-owned. So I've always worked for woman-owned companies.
Now, you mentioned the drywall company. How did you decide, this is it for me, this is what I want to be involved with, this is what I want to do?
I feel like the construction industry chose me because I was a physics major in college, and the physics teacher said, like, for your future, you have to either go all the way and get your PhD or do something else. So he kind of guided me. And so I wanted to do something that was math and science. And he was like, try engineering. And then I just gravitated towards civil engineering, like building stuff. Since my dad worked at a sugar mill, he is hands-on. So I wanted to get into something like that. And I feel like between, civil engineering, you could go into design and construction. And I was like, I saw people in like hard hats and getting out there, the machinery. I mean, I just felt like he chose me.
It was you. You knew right away.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that. Now, when you went to college, would you go to college in Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay. And I did hear the story. I'd love to hear it again. It wasn't always smooth sailing for you in college, and there was a time that you were on the fence. Is that right?
Yeah, I think because I had financial difficulties. My parents were immigrants, and they were just doing whatever they could to get by. And I was fortunate enough to get a 4-year scholarship from a union. And so my grandfather was part of the ILWU, which is the International Longshoremen Union, and they took over the sugar cane worker laborers. So they gave out a 4-year scholarship. and you had to write an essay to get that scholarship. And I was one of 4 in the whole state that got it.
Wow.
Yeah, and funny enough, I talked about plantation life and the food there. So I really did win a scholarship about food. But from there, after the scholarship ran out, because I had changed majors, I couldn't, I wasn't going to finish. And it's funny because, I think it was hard because, working 3 jobs and trying to make it good grades because you had to graduate with a certain amount of GPA was very difficult. And you heard the story, I gave up. I need to go home. So I called my mom, and, every time I think about it and that moment, where I called her and I'm like, I have to come home, I get super emotional. Because it's such a difficult part of your life, you're a failure, and to make matters worse, when I called her, she was like, you can't come home. You're going to break your father's hearts, and just hung up. And so, tough love,
Thanks,
I guess.
Mom.
Yeah, thanks. And, but I didn't go home. And, after a whole night of crying, I was like, I gotta find a way. I got to find a way. I rolled coins at first. Wow. I didn't tell that story, but I rolled coins. I found coins in the couch. I found it in my my car. Wherever I thought I had a stash, I rolled coins to make rent. And then I went to the my jewelry box, and I sold all my ex-boyfriend's jewelry as well as my grandmother's. She gave me, when I went to college, this heart pendant filled with tiny little diamonds on it. And at the time, I also had a crystal heart jewelry box my dad gave me. And in my head, in my memory, I had sold it all, for my tuition. And I look back at that now, and it's it was a gift for my future. And it's so funny because now I have moved, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't sell the box. I had my dad, my jewelry box, and I just stood there, and I was just so amazed that I had enough money to keep my jewelry box.
Liza, you are fantastic. I have to tell you, you're telling me you have the 3 jobs in school, and you have to get these incredible grades.
Yeah.
And financially, obviously, it was a bit of a stress.
Yeah.
What drives you? How did you get this inner strength?
I think I have this innate fear of failure.
Yeah. It's
some people always is how do you get up so early in the morning? Fear wakes me up. I don't want to fail. But you do fail.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I think that the fact that that thing that my mom said to me, you don't want to let your parents down, is always in me. Mm-hmm. I was so blessed to have been honored by NJ Alliance this past year, and the first thing I did was send that beautiful trophy home to my parents.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So they have it. You know what I mean? I mean, why do I need it? You know what I mean? Make them proud.
Yeah.
So even though I have my own children, they have lots of grandchildren, I'm 1 out of 4, I still have that in me. I don't want to fail them.
Well, that's terrific. And that's not, you can't learn that. You have to be born with that drive, and to experience that and to live it. And like I said, what you did with school and the financial stress, but I bet a lot of that did come from your mother and father. You said your mom was working in the pineapple fields. That can't be easy. Did you ever go out there and work with her?
No, but by that time she had, I was the oldest of 4, so by that time she had to stay home. But they weren't making it, so she ended up picking up housekeeping jobs that I actually went to with her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I wanted to ease the her hardship, so I would go and help her clean houses, and I'm I can clean house like nobody's business. Do you need your house clean? I know the best cleaners, you know what I mean? Old school tricks.
So you have that drive, but also you're a tremendous leader. Again, being a woman in this industry and being the director of Preconstruction for one of the leading construction organizations in the state. How did you become such a leader?
I think it's, they always talk about, is it born or is it innate? Like, is it learned or, you know what I mean? But I think that everybody has it in them to become a leader. So we practice, like at HC, like leadership at every level. So if you see something, it's almost like the Port Authority, see something, say something, like see something, lead something, because everybody has the ability to lead. And I always believe that even from the youth to now, whatever, like you could always do the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any people you modeled yourself after?
I think that I had, like I said, good leader,
Yes.
after Harry and Lisa Chwansky, after the construction industry. Like, if you look at our construction industry, I think we're pretty unique that even though we're competitors, we still respect each other. There's a certain level of respect. Like, you can see a competitor at, like, job sites, walk through, and then if you don't get the job, I'm always mad about it, but but I'm still friends, like with, all of the competitors, all this heavy civil competitors. And so I think this industry, although it's far-reaching as far as the whole state, it's still a very small community, and we still look out for each other. I know, like, I forget who had passed away, but everybody lent their loaders, no matter who it was, to, be paraded down in honor of him. Everybody gets together if they need help, if we're short a machine or whatever. I'm sure, we could reach out to other companies, even though they're competitors.
It's a real camaraderie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the work that HC does.
So we do heavy civil construction, and Jerry, we do like the coolest stuff. We do. Like, I've been so fortunate to be part of, one of our jobs was Rocktown Substation. Okay. We got an award for that, and like an engineering award from NJ Alliance a few years back with JCP&L. And what we did was we cleared a 5-acre site, and it had rock in the ground. We had to level it, so we blasted part of the mountain to put like these precast double walls on them. That is so cool. And like down in Bayonne, I don't know if you guys see the windmill. Yeah. We put the foundation in, and it was 800 cubic yards, 799 to be exact. And we poured it all in one day. So I think one of those, that is so cool how, I know it's buried and all, but like just to be a part of like building and going through the design and weighing the anchor bolt and making sure like the guys are safe, like all of that fits into a puzzle that is, to me, super exciting.
Listening to you, I have to believe that the keys to your success are not only your drive and your leadership, but your excitement. You are really enjoying yourself.
It's so cool. And like, I think the tougher it gets, like, we all band together, and like when we come off the other side, it's almost like telling battle stories. Like, oh, remember that change order we had to go through, and like we almost went to court, but then they sided in our favor. Like, it's just like telling stories. Yeah, I am very excited about construction.
Do you ever get to a job and say, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm in the middle of this, working on this. This is fantastic," or concerned, "Oh, am I going to be able to pull this off?" Or what are your thoughts when you walk onto one of these big job sites? Because I did that a couple of times. I took a walk through the 9/11 site, and I just couldn't believe how big it was. Pictures don't do it justice, but you're there all the time. Do you still get amazed by the size of these projects?
Even the small jobs. And I think because like I was on a job walk once in Elizabeth. Port Elizabeth, so I guess that's Newark. But so I saw rail, and I saw planes, and I saw these tremendous ships. I'm a girl that is from a tiny island, 5,000 miles away. Everything is so amazing that I get to be a part. I never dreamed that I would get to do and work with people like you guys and like our competitors and all of this HC Constructors. It's like a dream. Like, it's so exciting to be a part of it all. Like, sometimes I look around and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like, have you watched Lilo and Stitch? Like, that, or like Moana, like I'm that girl, but now I'm in the big city building things. I can't believe it.
Well, it's just so much fun to watch you and listen to you. You're so excited. You're so happy. Your enthusiasm shines right through. I'm sure that's a big part of your success. I want to talk about the actual Professional Women in Construction Association. Tremendous association.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know tell us, how long have you been involved, and why is it so important to you?
So I got involved because Lisa Chomsky was a past president, and so she got us going to a lot of different activities. We have a mentorship program that kind of mentors different fields, like you get to learn about accounting and stuff like that. But she got me involved, and she heard that I'm passionate about
I can
scholarship.
see that.
Yes. And so, like, I'm part of the UTCA, and then with Jill Schiff and her crew at ACCNJ, I'm part of the CIAP program. So we do, they do 2 steps of interviews. So I'm part of the first step and the second step. And so Lisa asked that if I wanted to become a part of the scholarship committee at PwC, and that's how I got involved. They didn't have a program when I started. So they asked me to put together one. So I wrote up a draft about guidelines. I presented it to the board and got it passed. Wow. Yeah, and so it's always been the case that that big event in May, our Women of Achievement, funds the program. And so for many years they were getting funds but not having a channel to distribute it. So I'm very thankful that I got experience from the UTCA and ACCNJ to kind of know what the criterias are and how to process the applications and stuff like that. So we created a program. It's going to be in our 6th year now.
Wow.
And I'm very proud of that.
That's terrific. Well, I know Chris and Ashley and I have been to the last 2 or 3 years in a row up at Liberty
Yes.
State Park, and it's just tremendous. You talk about the stories. Those are fantastic stories of those women there, and really inspirational. And you're an inspiration. And when I hear I'm getting inspired now just by listening to you. It's really a lot of fun. Getting back to the job part of it for you. Tell us about your evolution. This was your first job when you moved to Jersey.
Yeah.
You got the job working with Harry and Lisa.
Yes.
And tell us how you grew.
So when I started at HC Constructors, I was a project manager. So they hired me to be a project manager, and I ran the smaller projects. And then after a few years, short years, the estimator needed help. And so I'm like, I can estimate because I've estimated when I was back in Hawaii. I was the only engineer she had. So I did everything project management, estimating. So I estimated. Mm-hmm. And then, so I grew to be the lead estimator. And then Harry and Lisa needed help back at project management. Mm-hmm. So I jumped back to project management and learning along the way, how to run and conduct small business, running small projects and then larger ones, and they trusted me enough to run large projects, and it's exciting when you get to estimate it. I get excited just opening up the plans and start bidding it and then actually running the project. Yeah.
Wow. Let's talk about you and your family. You mentioned your daughter went back to Hawaii. And we talked about you were changing diapers. Being a mom and being in this business is not always easy. And I was at the ACCNJ event when your daughter received the scholarship.
Yes.
Well, I think that was the second scholarship going to the Pope family.
Yes.
Because your older daughter also got one, which is fantastic. How did you serve as a mom to your kids, and how did you help them out? And it sounds like you've passed on your drive and your intensity to them.
What I did with them is maybe not get that conventional, because my husband and I both put ourselves through college. Mm-hmm. And although we can and we do have the resources, I'm not paying for my children's college. Mm-hmm. I feel like they have to have a little bit of skin in the game. So we told them, hey, you know what, you have to find your own way. And so, they have been blessed enough to have those scholarships, but they did apply for them. And I don't sit on the ACCNJ scholarship committee, so like that was the one agency they could actually apply for, and they did get a bunch of other scholarships that they applied for, and so like my daughter chose. My oldest one did not get into the first college that she got into, that she wanted to get into, but she did go to Stevens because they gave her the most money. You know what I mean? That was her decision. And also my younger one got enough scholarships for 3 years. So like I said, it's not conventional because we're not, but we help them, Jerry. You know,
Sure,
but they had to find their own way.
Yeah. Well, I listened to those stories at the most recent ACC scholarship event, and these kids that are coming out of high school going into college, their stories are just phenomenal, as was your daughter's. And it was so nice to see your older daughter there, and she got a chance to speak as well. I don't think that really is very common that the kids come back after they got the scholarship to speak, but tell us about what your older daughter and now what your younger daughter, what are their plans?
So my oldest graduated from Stevens in biology, and she last summer spent it with my family on Kauai in Hawaii, and she got to do an internship at the local hospital. She did like an internship with an ENT, a surgery, and she was born with a genetic deficiency. It's like she's biotinidase, which means like she can't make her own biotin. But she does take supplements. But
I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
It's like some kind of, I don't even know what that is, but like you have to take biotin every day it's like a catalyst for your body.
Okay.
And she was so driven by her own story that she wanted to help other people. And because we found out that, you know, most of this disease gets detected as children, she wanted to help children. So that's what she's doing. Very proud of her. And then our youngest one, it was hard because she didn't know what she wanted to do, and it was like driving us nuts. You know what I mean? But that's her own choice because she's paying for her own way through college. But she was teetering between civil engineering and biomedical engineering, and then she is just going down the civil engineering path. Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe following right in your footsteps.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
And she's like, Mom, I'm going to go down the engineering, but like I still have a chance to go biomedical or civil. And I'm like, okay.
We talked about your drive and your intensity and your enthusiasm, but you're not done. What are your goals now? What's the future for Liza?
I think that I'd like to get more involved with, starting up new scholarships. Does the NJ Alliance have a scholarship?
We don't now. We might.
Yeah, if you do, reach out.
Yeah, okay.
I'm enthusiastic about that. And then mentorship. Oh. Mentorship is a big deal to me. And like we do have a lot of kids who we hire at HC Constructors. And the PwC also started an internship. So it's a little bit unique because they get to visit different member companies. So Emily, our intern this year, got to visit an architect. She's from NJIT, and she got to visit DI Group, which is a member of PwC, and interned there. She interned with Marine Solutions, and she got to go on a boat and see marine engineering and inspections. She came to HC Constructors, civil, and then she went to Gilbane, which is a GC. She also went to Torcon, another GC. So she got a chance to she's a sophomore, which I think is a good age because like you're just in the door, but you don't kind of know what you want to do, either get into design or construction. So we gave her that opportunity. And Jerry, I wish I had more funds to bring more people in. And our members volunteer their time to show our intern like these different facets of construction. And it's everything, right? It's like accounting, marketing, engineering, architecture, all part of the architecture, engineering, and construction group that we're a part of. So she got to see it, got her super excited, want to get more women in,
Now, when you're obviously enjoying this quite a bit, seeing these kids grow.
Yeah.
What does it mean when you see the sparkle in their eyes? and they're enjoying it as much as you are, and it really clicks. What does that mean when you see that?
I love that. Like, just, as soon as you can see that they're enjoying it, and she provides a summary for everywhere she goes, and you can hear the enthusiasm in her voice. And I'm like, tell your friends. We do have an NJIT student member group. So tell them, come and join our group. Like, we're a bunch of. I think when you're younger, you don't know that the older people want to help you. You know what I mean? But they don't have that connection. And so at PwC, we're hoping to make that connection, even for mainly for females. But when we had a panel at NJIT made of all kinds of architects, whatever, I think it was a panel of 8. We had so many people there. The turnout was outstanding. Males, females, students, just wanting to hear more about the industry. And I think it's our job to go and reach out to the students, because I never had that. I don't know if when you went to NJIT, if other people had that that opportunity, and we'd like to provide that opportunity. I think a lot of us in the industry want to volunteer, get them to learn. Like one of our programs. Stop me if I'm going crazy.
No, I was going to say, look at the camera and tell the people how they can get involved.
Well, one of our programs is that now our outreach program is involved with the Ocean County VOTEC and the Monmouth County VOTEC. So last year we had the pipe fitters, 825, the laborers, meet and wall, and these young women came and got to speak with pipe fitters, and because. I don't think that the students, when you're going into high school, know that you can make a living, good living. They have pensions, they take care of you, vacation funds. That is what the union can offer. You know what I mean? And that is part of our construction industry. You don't have to be a project manager. You could go out, and if I had to do it over again, I would become an equipment operator. Because it looks so fun, and you get to be a part of the action, dig, doze, you know what I mean? But I think the women out there has that opportunity.
That is very, very interesting, because when I look at when I was growing up, I played with trucks and I played with the. And you're out there, and you're doing this now on a real scale.
Yeah.
And you see these big projects moving on, and you see other people being so excited. It must give you a special feeling. Tell us about the special feeling when you see someone figuring it out and say, "Boy, this is what I want to do."
I get so excited for them. I have this student who went through the CIAP program. So the CIAP program is with the ACCNJ and the unions. So is it okay if I talk about the unions?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the unions, a part of every union member contributes to the construction industry advancement program. And what it is that you can get a paid internship and at the end get a scholarship. So I had a girl who came in, and she was super excited, and she went to Stevens, but she's from Irvington, moved to Newark, and she didn't have the same opportunities but got a scholarship. It clicked for her, and I'm so excited for her. Like another female in the industry, or I saw at the Ocean County, a person, we gave her a scholarship. She's an electrician. You might have been there to see her get the scholarship 2 years ago, and now she's an electrician apprentice. She's belongs to the union, and she just has a great future in front of her. And she spoke about her experience and how that scholarship changed her life. And that is for me, that was life-changing, you know what I mean? That we get to touch people's lives, really influence them into construction.
When you go into schools and you're telling women and men as well, but the gals about getting into the union and about developing a career, what do you tell them? How do you show that this is really a great opportunity and you can make a career out of this?
So when they come, they get to speak one-on-one with the 825 or whatever, and the union members are so enthusiastic to draw more people in, and they have apprentice programs. And so what we talk about is like, well, you can talk one-on-one, and then we'll have an open discussion. And the kids are really, they have so many questions. How do I get in? You know what I mean? What do I have to do? I heard that it's you have to know somebody. You know what I mean? And like, it kind of just clears the air about like, if you really wanted to do that, go ahead and try. And there's so many different programs like that they could be a part of, the apprenticeship program, or the construction industry day that several of us are a part of, that they can go and talk to real life people. There's females there, there's males there, whatever is interesting to you. Yeah.
It's interesting you asked before about the unions, and I could tell you all of us here at the Alliance would not have jobs here at the Alliance if it were not for the unions. So we work very closely with the unions, and we're really happy when we hear the organizations going into the schools and trying to convince or trying to educate the students about how this can be such a great opportunity for them. What about the future in construction? Where do you see any new markets coming up, and where do you think the action is going to be over the next few years?
Well, the action is here in New Jersey, right? Like the Gateway project is super exciting. That is super exciting because the funds are there, and also the wind, because that is better for humanity generally, and then also it's cutting edge technology. And I think another facet is and I know everybody's talking about it, and it's how artificial intelligence is going to play a big role in the construction and engineering industry. And I think that it's hard because like we're hands-on, and we're not, even during COVID, we can't remote construction, like you can't work remotely, it's in person. And there's so many different tasks that only you and I as humans can do, but there's 100 different tasks that AI can do that can help us be as unique as we are.
What do we as an industry have to do in order to promote that and make AI be more part of our lives and more part of our businesses?
I think that we have to get more educated about how it can help us. And then once we get that going, open the doors for innovation. Like I have so many ideas like how we could run estimates through AI, but there's not many software out there. But like maybe the government can help us like fund different initiatives to create these different types of software that can help us. Yeah.
One last thing. If you have some advice to give a woman coming up in the construction industry, what would that advice be?
To just be yourself. Like sometimes I feel like people want to be guys because we're in the industry, like, just that way. But I think that the more unique you are and the more that you embrace that you're a woman, you know what I mean? We can do it. I mean, if boys can do it, of course we can do it. You know what I mean? So like just be yourself, I think is the best thing. Like, and then your passions will come out. Yeah.
Well, that's terrific, Liza. It's really a pleasure having you here. This is our second Under Construction podcast that we've done. I'm really happy you're able to be a part of it. It's always been a pleasure working with you and Lisa and Harry and the whole HC team. And so many of these things you said today really hit home and mean a lot to me. And it's just it's so nice to see the way your face lights up. And also, it's nice to see the way things are so important to you. And even though you broke down a little bit here today, it's that's you. That's Liza.
Yeah.
That's who you are, and that's so perfect. So congratulations to you. It's a pleasure seeing you here
Thank
today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. That's the Under Construction podcast. Say thank you so much for being here today. We're going to ask you to check back to see us in the future. And when we do that, we'll have more exciting people to speak with, people that are really on the front line of the construction industry. They are creating the opportunities and putting the business out there. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in. Under Construction with Jerry Keenan is a production of the New Jersey Alliance for Action. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. To learn more about membership and events, go to alliancefораction.com. Together, we're building a better future. We'll see you next time.